different and my accents are different. I was born in India. I lived in India till when I was 25 years old. And then I moved to South Korea for 7-8 years. And I live in America for 9 years now. And I just want to congratulate you, and I want to let you know that how wonderful and how privileged it is to live in this country where there's a religious freedom. Because having lived in so many different parts of the world, I realized that most people in the world does not have this opportunity. So let's give a big hand to our founding father.
Freedom of conscience and of religion are not just for the religious groups. These are the rights of every American, indeed, every human being, every employer, every insurer. Every person has a conscience and has to be free to live in a way consistent with that. So what is this fight all about as a Christian and as a citizen of the United States of America? Well, my first objection to this preventative health care mandate, as it's called, is not about making contraceptions illegal. As we all know, birth control is legally protected by the United States Constitution. It is only about whether the government can force religious institutions and individuals to provide contraception, sterilization, and abortion drugs to our employees via the health insurance.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Our country was founded on Judeo-Christian values that came from the Bible. God is a gentleman. He does not demand our worship. He gave us free will to choose. We can accept or reject Him. We can love or hate Him. We can honor or dishonor God. But there are consequences that are outlined in the Bible. We can prosper or fail. We can find life or death. You can fact check that for me in Deuteronomy chapter 28, where it talks about the blessings and curses that come from obedience or disobedience. In our culture right now, all references to God are disappearing, and the result is that God's hand of blessing has been lifted from America. People don't want to think about this or hear about it, but the evidence is there. The murder of the unborn, the exaltation of homosexuality have invited a curse on America. Do we really think that God cares about our economy or protecting us from Islamic terrorists when we allow terror to invade the womb? That question right there is the one that makes me wonder that abortion is God's #1 issue in this upcoming election. Every nation that has killed its unborn has fallen to its enemies. Every day we wake up to news about another terrorist attack somewhere. When our priorities line up with God's priorities, we will reap the benefits. God will turn our economy around, and He will deliver us from our enemies.
Last month, on the 11th anniversary of 9/11, Matthew J. Frank, director of William E. and Carol G. Simon Center on Religion and the Constitution at Witherspoon Institution, was featured as guest lecturer at Hillsdale College. His lecture on religious freedom has been adapted and entitled Individual, Community, and State: How to Think About Religious Freedom in the latest issue of Imprimis, the monthly Hillsdale College newsletter. In his memorial and remonstrance against religious assessment delivered to the Virginia General Assembly in 1785, James Madison spoke of religious conscience as an unalienable right, and he goes on to say, "It is the duty of every man to render to the Creator such homage and such only as he believes to be acceptable to him. This duty is precedent, both in order of time and in degree of obligation, to the claims of civil society. The power of government, necessary as it is to maintain a shared moral order, is the creature and not the creator of men's rights, and the servant, not the master, of the private relations in our families and religious communities. It has no jurisdiction over belief. It cannot properly legislate or adjudicate questions of religious duty or validity of requirements of conscience. The state should respect, honor, and even foster the role of religious communities and institutions as essential contributors to civil society.
Seem to lost our way in our daily fight, struggling to make it, trying to do what's right. Forgetting what was sacrificed to get this far, the battles that we fought to prove who we are. One nation under God helps me sleep at night. So if you believe in the red, white, and blue, and the lives that were lost to give it to you, grab onto your dreams and hold on tight. Don't let this crazy world lead you astray. Thank the Lord for what you have each and every day. Always stand up for what you think is right. Tell your family that you love them each and every night. Time we get back to basics, back to who we are. Understand the reasons of how we got this far. Standing up for freedom and everything that's right. One nation under God helps me sleep at night.
For example, John Adams, our second president, said these words: "Statesmen may plan and speculate for liberty, but it is religion and morality alone which can establish the principles upon which freedom can securely stand. We have no government armed in power, capable of contending in human passions, unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to govern any other people." We were established with freedom and liberty in this country because there was an understanding that God rules in the hearts of its citizens. And without God ruling in the hearts of the citizens, man by necessity needs a stronger master, one that would not provide freedom and liberty.
If tomorrow all the things were gone you worked for all your life, and you had to start again with just your children and your wife, you'd thank your lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause our flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away.
fighting for it means more than just sitting on the couch and debating with your TV. Fighting means to get out and be active. It means to join your community. It means to be prepared to get that comfort level a little bit closer so that you can debate the issues. It doesn't allow you to just sit back and let others do it for you. Millions of Americans, and we hear this all the time, millions of Americans, young and old, have died on the battlefield to ensure that you could be here today and that the speakers could speak to you today. Yep. You cannot ever forget that. You can never give that up, because you can never get back the blood that's been spilled to ensure that this nation stands and that we have the ability to protect her through our thoughts and our processes. And one of those is the ability to understand and appreciate and accept and to proselytize religious beliefs.
Amen. We fight today at the ballot box, and our founding fathers set in course a form of government that made it possible for you and me to fight without taking up arms. And this year is a fundamentally important opportunity for us at the ballot box. The very first liberty is religious liberty. There's no doubt in my mind, and I'm sure in yours, that our religious liberties are being eroded today in our society, and it is only the first of many that will be thrown under the bus if Americans do not stand up and say, enough. Enough. It's enough of being told you can't pray. Enough of being told you can't talk to people about the Bible. Enough of these nonsense rules and bureaucratic laws that have been handed down. We are to stand up and fight for the liberties that God has granted us. And in just a few weeks, we'll be going to the ballot box to stand up for religious liberty. Our elected officials are not our masters. They are our employees. Yes. And there is one who needs to be let go.
Yes. I agree, yes. He is trampling out the vintage where the